Hey, foreign cars, foreign seats with the foreign leather. Foreign number, put the card in the ATM in the sad era. Yeah, flex mode, this ain't Southwest, this is jet. I ain't gotta shut the cell off, cause the iPhone don't got a jet mode. Bad be pesto. If you wanna come, let's go. We ain't going nowhere special. I just wanna see more Modesto. Hit your throw and I'ma catch those. Mexican, that make pesos. Hit your sauce, I'll replace those. Number save, no name though. We need more, tell them we need more. Putting numbers on the board, let them keep a score. Hey, 16 cars in my front yard. Hey, 30 on my wrist, bullet point to God.
Big numbers, 100 in the bag, that's a big number. Big numbers, whole team counted, that's a big number.
Yeah, wrist man, check the wrist man, got him hot. Ay, man can't ball like this, man. Lord, past the pig skin, when he stretch a distance. I'm talking a few 100,000 yards, you just on your 5th grand. Run it up, count it up. Ay, hundreds and 50s and 20s, no 5s and no singles, don't count on them. Ay, she want it like me, cause her blame, she can't count on him. She try to be nosy and hit up my ex, she like, girl, you can count on him.
Hey, we need more, tell them we need more. Putting numbers on the board, let them keep a score. Hey, 16 cars in my front yard. Hey, 30 on my wrist, bullet point to God.
Big numbers, 100 in the bag, that's a big number. Big numbers, whole team counted, that's a big number. Big numbers, 100 in the bag, that's a big number. Big numbers, blue hunts, whole team counted, that's a big number.
Going big, going big. Everywhere I go, they know the click. Way too many wins, they know the shit. They was hating, know they sick, acting like they know me. Cause I'm going big, going big. Everywhere I go, they know the click. Way too many wins, they know the shit. They was hating, know they sick, acting like they know me. Cause I'm
P-P-P-Love, time to bring the bass bird.
Swear I'm going big like a lineman. She want bring the limes in.
Welcome in, everybody. It's the coach. This is Madden 20 on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we've got what should be an interesting matchup between the Indianapolis Colts and the Detroit Lions. With that, let's head inside the Ford Field in Detroit. We're standing by are the two men who will bring you this one, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Well, Coach, the seating capacity is 65,000 at Ford Field, and we are right around that number today. A good crowd on hand and seemingly ready to go in the Motor City. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Indianapolis Colts and the Detroit Lions. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, we look at this Lions team entering play. The losers their last time out, so they'll look to make amends here.
And one of the best ways you can do that is to be at home, and they are. They're going to try and ride that home crowd and that wave of emotion to a victory in this one.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Colts, they're hot as can be, winners of 8 of their last 9 games.
I don't know if you'd call this start a surprise exactly, but they've proven that they're going to be able to stand toe-to-toe with anybody.
It's been a tradition since the early days of the NFL, and we're off on Thanksgiving Day in Detroit. This is taken at his 4. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. So here are the Lions now coming out for their opening drive. They'll be led out by a former Pro Bowl quarterback out of the University of Georgia, Matthew Stafford.
And he's got to be feeling pretty good about his individual performance from last week's game. I mean, he did throw 4 touchdown passes, so he's in sync with his receivers, and they're very confident. Did have 1 interception.
Yeah, the 1 pick.
And
they lost.
Yeah, so no matter how many touchdowns he threw, if it comes in a loss, he's not going to be satisfied.
That's right, baby. They don't want it. Whip. Watch the whip.
They'll run for the first time with Johnson. And right away, they're going to stack him up right at the line of scrimmage. Calling no gain on the game's first play. And it's second down now. And now the offense for Detroit.
And, partner, sometimes it's good for a team to get the Thursday nighter right after a loss because you don't have very long to stew on what just happened. You have to turn right around, get ready, and go out and play again. Or, as one of the veterans told me, I actually like this because I can keep my anger for this short amount of time and take it out on the other team.
Throwing on second down. Stafford, a throw for Galladay is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Rock Ya-Sin. And his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line. Well, not a good omen there. His first throw of the afternoon, intercepted.
And I know what the fans are thinking right now. I hope there's not negative thoughts in his head going forward since that's his first throw of the game. But one of the things I remember about him coming out of school is he's able to wipe things away pretty easily and move on.
And now Indianapolis set to take the field. And it's only November, but the playoffs, we know how it works. They'll be here before you know it. If it ended today, they would be the #1 seed.
And that's a great spot to be in. But I love the phrase, if it ended today. And I'll guarantee you, that's what they've discussed in their locker room, in their meeting rooms. Yeah, we know where we'd be if it ended today, but we also know it's not ending today.
Right.
So they've got to continue to play the type of ball that put them in the spot where they're #1 in the conference.
They throw right away, and that's complete out on the right side. And he's brought down at the 34. Call it a gain of 4.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
On third down, Brissett to the right side to Eric Ebron. And he will be marked down short of the first as they get to him at the 29. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to fourth down.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. The fourth down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on first down. Now a give right side. Callaway. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. Now a second down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Those throwing windows get a lot tighter near the end zone, don't they? And here's the thing. You already probably have 3 points in your hip pocket. You force a throw here and give up an interception, you come away with nothing.
Especially tough in the middle third of the field. Going for Hilton, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Justin Coleman. And he'll bring this one back to the 29. So a pretty shaky start here for both sides.
Yeah, each quarterback's throwing a ball to the other team. Do you think on both sidelines they're sitting them down and saying, okay, remember, this is the color jersey we're wearing. They're wearing the other color. Let's make sure we get it to our guys, please.
5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up second and 5. A look there at the defensive starters for the Colts. They were very good in the win last week against Jacksonville.
And the big difference in the game, their ability to force turnovers. Multiple, in fact. Being able to take the ball away, give it back to their offense, the big difference in the game.
It was impressive. Now the question, can they duplicate it? On second down, Johnson. And this time not as successful as he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a third down and 6.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. So the defense able to get off the field here on third down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on third down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
That's fielded at the 8-yard line. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And the Colts will go on offense here, 1st and 10.
Right there, 56.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Ebron caught left side. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
It's so important to tackle well against these guys, but you and I both know that's easier said than done when the guy you're trying to tackle looks like this guy.
And it's usually going to take more than one man to get him down, and it did right there. Simply not much more you can ask out of your running back. Over 100 yards and the 3 touchdowns.
And for an old coot like me, I loved it because he did it on the ground. A running back taking control of the game. That's what I like to see.
Hold on. An old coot?
Coot. C-O-O-T.
All right, I'll look that up later. And, he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here comes. Get him a first down.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any
They run with Hines. The linebacker, Christian Jones.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
He'll try and run it.
Holding offense.
That hold coming from the left side of the line.
Hands got caught in the cookie jar on that one, and the flag came out. Penalty against them.
Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. Here's Brissett. That's complete to Hines out of the backfield. And finally down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. A really good pickup of 28 yards. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. They'll get this halfway home from the 8 to the 4 on a gain of 4. When we talk about being on schedule, I think they're on schedule after that run, getting it right down there on the doorstep.
Maybe even a little bit ahead because now the defense can't dictate with pressure. They're guessing about where you're going to go. I might come right back at them with the same play, the same set, and see if they can...
Under pressure, down he goes. Sacked at the 10. Christian Jones leading the surge there as he drops him for a loss of 6.
2nd goal, last thing you need to do is get pushed backwards to take a sack, but he couldn't find anywhere to go with the football, had to eat it, and ended up on the ground.
Now from back at the 9 after that last play, this is 3rd and goal. From the shotgun, it's Brissett. Flushed out right. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
Quarterbacking 101. Never force the ball into double coverage, especially not this close to the goal line. The windows are so tight, you just don't want to force it in there because it could be tipped up and picked off.
That drive took him inside the 10. Good job defensively to hold him to 3.
Yeah, I like how you did that. Give a little tip of the cap to the stop troops there because they didn't give up a touchdown in that situation, right? Made them kick the field goal. And, yeah, points went against them, but that feels a whole lot better running off the field.
And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. Here's the Detroit offense now as they head back out onto the field. And the results for them have not been strong to this point. 2 drives have ended in a turnover and then a punt.
So would it be too snarky for me to say that they've shown improvement? Because you had two drives with turnovers. Now they punted it away, so at least they didn't turn it over. So that's good, right?
You're going to get some angry users reaching out to you on social media.
Well, I don't mean to be. I was actually looking for the positive. Silver lining, you know.
The numbers a week ago for Johnson. 14 carries, 75 yards. On second down now, it's Johnson.
And even though it's a short week, running backs love when they're in a groove, and that's exactly where he is right now. He's hoping to feast a little bit more here on Thanksgiving. A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
What we got?
They'll try and run for it. Here's Johnson. And he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. It's a first down following a gain of 3. Now a first down throw. Stafford. That'll be taken in there by Kenny Golladay. And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Here's Stafford. That's complete to his tight end. This is Lance Kendricks. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
But when you hit him on the move like that, and he's able to get into open field with a full head of steam, oh boy, it's going to be tough to get him down.
Yeah, there was a big window. They're lucky they did get him down. A first down carry here for Johnson. A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29. There to stop him was Darius Leonard.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
On second down, it's Johnson.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
And he will have the first before he's brought down right on the chalk of the 20. Stafford to Jones, and up for a Lion first down. The Lions into the red zone for the first time. 1st and 10 right at the 20. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out, you see, and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. 0 accountability, and a sack resulted.
Another example right there how this defense really is winning the entire game at the point of attack.
Yeah, right there at the line of scrimmage because they are dominating it. It allows their interior guys to get upfield and spill into the backfield. So how are you going to combat that? You know, because they bring in your tight end, keep him in. Your running backs, they have to step forward. Bottom line, your offensive line has to block them first to give yourself a chance. Well, that's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
Fairbairn able to put this one through. And that will tie us at 3-3. A dozen plays on that drive that ends with the field goal.
Let's go ahead and break out some of the old chestnuts here, right, partner? Keep the ball in front, rally to it, and make the tackle, right? No big plays given up, no balls over your head. Bend, don't break.
Hold on. Chestnuts?
You like
Come
that
on,
one?
what does that mean, break out that just because you break chestnuts?
I'm not sure about that, but I'm just going with why they said that. I have no idea.
Here comes the Indianapolis offense now as they get set to take over. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a first down now. On first down, Callaway fighting through it. He's got space. And he takes this one in for a Colts touchdown. A big play there. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Colts have taken the lead. Not a whole lot to recap on that drive. Just one play, 75 yards to the house.
Yeah, it's a long way to go. And remember, rarely is it a straight line 75 yards, too. Got to have a little extra in there. So whatever the final number is, a well-deserved seat on the bench, a little oxygen if he wants it as well. Extra point by Marr, up and good. And the lead is now 10-3.
One of the shortest drives you'll ever see. One play, 75 yards, 6 points. Following the touchdown, here's Marr to kick it away. This is fielded at the goal line. Then he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Back onto the field comes the offense. Let's take a closer look at Kerryon Johnson. He's had a good chunk of carries. Problem is for very little success. I don't want to put it all on his shoulders, but that's a big reason they're losing right now.
Have to be very careful that he doesn't start pointing fingers. Offensive line obviously trying. The defense is doing a nice job against him today. When it's all said and done, it's all about the guy in the mirror. He has to get it done better going forward.
See if he can look and do some soul searching now. The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. Throwing is Stafford. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off around the 37. And he will bring it back. An interception return for a Colts TD. Now remember, this is the #1 defense in the National Football League. There's a good example of why.
Shows that they set an aggressive tone, not just stopping the run, not just getting after the quarterback, but the ball's in the air. They treat it like they're the receivers, and they went after that one and took it all the way.
Extra point by Marr, up and good. And the lead is now 17-3. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick 6. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Here comes Matthew Stafford now to lead his offense back out there. He and his team, they have had a rough go of it here in this first half. Maybe time for him to put his foot down here in the second quarter.
Put his foot down and become a little more accurate throwing the football. He's already thrown 2 interceptions. He's trying to find a way to equal things out. And instead of it going to the opponents, get it to his own receivers and find the end zone.
Yeah, you mentioned those 2 picks. No touchdown passes yet either.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. Up past the 25 to the 26, a gain of 5.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. He'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
From the gun on 3rd down, Stafford. Well, the 2 men come together, and it's incomplete. Excellent work defensively, brings up 4th down.
It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation, and there the defense won the battle. Here's Lachlan Edwards now, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. Taken in at the 22. 12 yards on the return that time. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. He's in his zone, 2nd quarter, already closing in on a 100-yard game.
And that's the magic number for a running back. Anytime you get to that triple digits, that's all you're looking for. But he's got a chance to really exceed that in this one.
Yeah, he does. That's been the gold standard for a long time, hasn't it, that 100-yard mark?
It really has, and that never has to shift because it's in a game. It's a 1,000-yard mark. I'm wondering, since we've gone from 12 to 14 to 16 games, maybe we need to up that a little.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Out of the gun, Brissett. Got it complete to Rodgers. And he's corralled at the 40, but not before picking up 8.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. Coming up at halftime, I'll go from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando, the coach. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL. You and Jonathan Coachman both larger than life.
No doubt about it.
But you're stuck with me in this booth,
yes,
and he's miles away and smiling.
And happy.
So just shy of midfield, they tried it, didn't work out. What did you think?
I thought that they should have punted the ball away. Should have gotten rid of it and played defense with better field position. Look, I'm as aggressive as anyone wanting to go for it on offense, but in this situation, it doesn't.
First half.
I don't know that there's any risk. I mean, what's the reward for your risk here? I would not have done that. My only explanation is this coach, he may want to be up here in the booth with us. We can have a 3-man booth starting next week if he keeps up with those decisions.
Here's a throw out wide complete to his running back right side. And he got blown up, losing yardage on the play back at the 44. And Frank Galladay, that's complete. And he's going to get this inside the 30. 15 yards for the Lions there on a first down. They're going draw play. Stafford to Johnson. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
Well, he was looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple of yards out of it. Because those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Stafford, screen play, Johnson. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. The Lions now going to use the second of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. From the red zone now, Stafford. Now they go screen. It's complete. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down.
You know what the key to a good screen pass is, don't you?
But you're going to tell me, good blocking?
Well, good blocking eventually. But first is good acting. You want to let the defenders go past you, leak out to whichever side or even in the middle where you want to set up the screen, and then you do your blocking. How about the read, though, by the defensive guys? They weren't fooled at all and actually ran with the lineman to where the play was and smothered it for a loss of yardage.
The Colts going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. 3rd and long. It's Stafford. And the pressure gets to him and brings him down. Stafford is sacked. Now the Colts going to burn the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 35 seconds to go in quarter number 2. So out comes a field goal team now for the second time here today. He hit his first. Now this from 43. The kick by Fairbairn is good. And a second field goal here gets him back within 11 now. It's 17-6. No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. The Colt offense and T.Y. Hilton making their way back out. Second quarter, a guy like him, no catches, so that's the surprising part. But they're winning, so maybe they've been able to do some other things effectively, I guess.
And they found other ways, haven't they? Because the receivers would tell you, offense needs to run through us. But they're managing to get it done in this ball game without having to actually do that. I wouldn't expect them to stay silent for the rest of the game.
Yeah, you got to think that his first catch is coming at some point. So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. From the gun, here's Bissett. Complete to Hilton. And he'll cross over out of bounds right at the 25. A good pickup there, 26 yards. So a big pickup that time. And Charles, defending AFC Player of the Week, maybe bucking towards another award this week.
Yeah, and they say they don't really care about the individual awards. You and I both know
they do.
It means a lot to them. It means
and he's got his man. It's Hilton for the Colts touchdown. T.Y. Hilton, as the first half is winding down. And the Colts, they add on to their advantage.
Brandon, my man, just one sentence for that one. Clinic.
And that's what they've done. They lead the league in points per game this season, but it's been quick strikeability as we saw on that drive.
I think they're actually intimidating defenses because they're back on their heels right away, wondering where it's going to come from, how they're going to hit them. This group is well organized, well coached, and extremely confident in what they do.
This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. Time here for likely one play, then off to the locker room, and they're going to have some adjustments to make.
They certainly will, and I think a lot of people are thinking to themselves, all right, take the knee, get out of here, regroup. But how will the head coach and his staff approach halftime? Will it be angry? Will it be clinical? Will they be calm? Will they just let it all out? Who knows? I'd love to be a fly on the wall for this one, though.
The final shot before the break, Stanford. And that's caught inside the 30. And he'll be taken down, but first he gets deep into Indianapolis territory. So we're at halftime here in the annual Thanksgiving game in Detroit. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Today, and then a full slate coming up this weekend. As far as the early games go in that 1 o'clock window, we'll be focused on that game in Nashville. A big one for the Titans as they'll square off against the New York Jets. Good stuff to follow on the West Coast in the afternoon window. One being out in Oakland, where it'll be the Raiders taking on the Jacksonville Jaguars. And lastly, Sunday Night Football has a good one lined up between the New Orleans Saints and the L.A. Chargers. In our game is Jacoby Brissett, who's led the way on offense in the first half. His guys have the lead, as we'll hand it back over to our commentators, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Second half ready to get underway. The Colts with a lead, and they will receive the football. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. And we take some time to spotlight T.Y. Hilton now. And he is closing in on the 100-yard mark for the day.
And it appears that he loved the fact that they're going to play this game earlier. You know, daytime, he's out there running around, feeling good about himself. Whatever his prep was coming in, he was able to get out there quick and fire away.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. On 2nd and 9, Brissett. Rodgers brings it in. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Brissett from the gun on 3rd, and he can't come up with a pick. Nearly his 2nd of the game. Instead, 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
So we get a look at the Lions offense as they get ready for their first possession of the second half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half.
And he's going to be brought down back at his own 6-yard line. They couldn't contain Deshaun Hand that time as he gets home for the sack. And then after the sack, it'll be interesting to see what they have planned for 2nd and 23. To throw is Stafford. And he's going to go down again.
So, Brandon, we've sat in with a lot of coaches, and when they talk about things they want to accomplish offensively, I'm not sure that sack and sack are on their play sheet.
After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
And now here's a timeout called by the Colts on the defensive side of the ball. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. And indeed, that's what they'll do as they run it here. Fighting to get back to the goal line. I don't think he got there. He did not get back there. It's a safety. And you know, the man who sat in my chair the last few years, he has a theory. These plays, these safeties, they're so rare. Maybe they should be worth more than 2, maybe 4 points.
I think he's got a great point. I really do, Brandon. But I would go ahead and up it to 6. I'm a former defender. Oh. To me, that's like scoring a touchdown.
Easy now. I'll go 4. I don't know about 6.
Come on. Come up to 6.
A lot of points. So here are the Colts to take over. They're on a 3-game winning streak, and right now looking good in this one as well. First down, Brissett. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep 2 hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. Ball on the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10. Brissett. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's 3rd down. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Play action now. Brissett. And he's got Rodgers. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A good pickup there, a 22. Brissett now 5 straight completions here in this 2nd half. 1st and 10. They'll run on 1st down. Callaway. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Indianapolis moving the chains there on a gain of 12.
Yeah, another good run there. He's been such a big part of their success here this afternoon. And that last carry, it puts him over 100 yards now for the day.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on 1st down. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Now it's Hines, and he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's no gain on the play, and they'll remain a few inches shy of a first with 3rd down looming. On 3rd down, Callaway. And down inside the 15 he goes. A 14-yard gain for Indianapolis and also move the sticks. A lot to praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
And he can't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. 12 more yards there and another 1st down.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. Into a mass of bodies, and I think they held him out. They did. Call it no gain, and it's going to be 2nd and goal. Another shot from the 1 on 2nd and goal. They'll run. This is Walton. And the big boys up front, they're going to stop him right at the line. Call it no gain that time, and now it's 3rd and goal.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
This is 3rd and goal. Brissett. That ball caught by Funchess. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Devin Funchess, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Colts, they add on to their advantage. And all about timing there on that short slant, Charles.
Exactly right. That was timed up so well. The route, the throw, touchdown.
Extra point by Marr, up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. And Detroit getting set to go now. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. They go play action here on 1st down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Give the sack to Kamoko Toure.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
And nothing doing here as this time the run maybe gets them back to the line of scrimmage, but that's it.
Lady! Switch up, switch up!
Throwing on 3rd and long. Stafford, and he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off at the 45, and he's just across midfield and down at the 49-yard line. He has just been a load for opposing offenses to account for. Now 8 interceptions on the year.
I love that number because I always think of center field. You know, when I hear 8, because that's the position you write in the scorecard in baseball. And what do good center fielders do? Take over all the alleys, right? They range deep and make a whole lot of great catches.
That's good for an Indianapolis 1st down on a gain of 10.
And he continues to pile up the yardage. That puts him over $150 now. And this defense has really had its problems trying to keep him contained.
It's caught by Funchess. And he's going to get this inside the 30. A gain of 11 that time and a Colts 1st down.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
A big chunk on the ground there, 27 yards. We're on to the 4th here on Thanksgiving Day. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he takes it in for a Colts score. A great play there. With his 2nd TD of the game, his 6th on the year. As his guys continue to pour it on. You know, the man on our cover, John Madden, so synonymous with these Thanksgiving Day games. He was on TV for these from, I think, 81 to 01, giving out the Turkey Leg Award and Turducken he always talked about. Special when you got a guy going off like this. I think he would be a good recipient of the Turkey Leg Award.
Well, he's definitely already worked on that leg. Is it possible he could end up getting the whole turkey?
Yeah, give him a thigh,
or the whole turducken. And it's really great that you mentioned Coach Madden because everyone knows him from this. Everyone knows him from the broadcast booth. Remember, he won a Super Bowl as a head coach in Oakland.
Yep, he did indeed. But right now, we are watching maybe one of those turkey leg performances with his 2nd touchdown there. Stafford and the Lions now have it 1st and 10 at their own 24. Now a quick slant as the throw's complete. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. 11 yards there and a Lion 1st down. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Stafford. And incomplete. Johnson, the intended target. That'll bring up 2nd down.
Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense is well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure. The backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
He'll get a dozen there, and the Lions have a 1st down. Stafford now. 5 straight completions here in this 2nd half. 1st and 10. Now Stafford. Josh Doxson's got it complete. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. They'll get 17 that time, and the Lions have a 1st down.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
Stafford throws complete to Galladay. And the ball is knocked out, and the Colts pick it up. And they're going to set up shop at the 27-yard line.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth.
Yeah, you'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. It'll be a gain of 17 and an Indianapolis 1st down. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big, big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense.
A gain of 11 that time and a Colts 1st down.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
Defensively, a solid response after giving up back-to-back 1st downs.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Brissett. That's complete to Jack Doyle, the tight end. And it's going to be another 1st down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions 16. They have the nice cushion. They just want to pour it on right now, still throwing the football.
And I know my background says, why do you need to do this? Just go ahead and run out the clock and get a win. But as many people pointed out to me, it's a video game, man. Go ahead and put the numbers up. Sportsmanship, not an issue.
Exercise those fingers. And he'll be out of bounds. Add the gain here to the previous play, and it's better than 40 yards total.
When you have someone throwing it that well, that confidently, you don't have to call the game in fear at all, do you? You just go ahead and play.
Yep, confidence with a lead to throw it here in the 4th, and boom, he's on the money.
Yeah, you don't have to tuck your head in and go like turtle at this point. You can just go.
And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Indianapolis. A great effort there. Taking it in as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. So another score there, and often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
So they are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. Now the Colts defensive unit trots back out there. And they forced the fumble last time. Now 4 turnovers for this defense. They've been darn good.
It's become a feeding frenzy, hasn't it? I mean, almost like the Sharks. When they descend upon their prey, that's what they've done this entire game. 4 takeaways, they preach it, and today they're living it.
Well, when you have that many, you probably think, all right, well, we'll just get another one now, right?
That's how it works. Everyone feels like, if I didn't get one, I'm doing something wrong.
On 1st and 10, Stafford. He'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that'll make this a 2nd and 13. The loss of 3 on that first down pass play. Now 2nd and 13. Stafford throwing on target to Jones. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a 3rd down. The Lions on 3rd down. They've converted a 1/3 of their opportunities, 3 for 9. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. It's brought in by Jackson. And he's got the first down before being taken down at the 46. 3rd down turns to 1st with that 5-yard pickup. Stafford going to come up 1st and 10, and he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. Stafford gives to Johnson on the draw. He'll get only a couple down to the 44.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
We want it. Come to my work.
From the 44, Stafford, and the catch made by Johnson. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. A pass for negative yardage, obviously no good. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it, or maybe he shouldn't have caught it.
I think we were seeing it at the same time, weren't we? Maybe you let that one go, right? Because you can see the lost yardage about to develop. That goes against every instinct of a receiver. They're taught to catch everything. So it's really hard to be mad at him and yell at him for trying to make that play.
A gain of 26 on the 3rd down conversion. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Lions in possession of the football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Stafford now to throw. And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. 2nd down. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. To throw again. Stafford. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down. This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. Again, it's Stafford. And this is caught. Well, they get one back, picking up the late touchdown here, but still down big.
And that touchdown, well, it barely puts a dent in this lead. And unfortunately, I'm having too many flashbacks right now. I remember getting beat down like this playing before.
Oh, yeah? College, high school?
College. Not a heck of a lot of fun. I still remember playing and trying to tackle an elusive tailback who ended up scoring 4 touchdowns, 226 yards.
They had to go to the monitor, get an extra look. That's what the technology is for, and this touchdown will count. Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good, as they make the score just a slight bit more respectable here in the final quarter of play. This is taken at the 3. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. Now the Colts offense gets ready to head back on the field. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always tough.
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Trey Flowers able to record his 5th sack of the season.
Brandon, that's just football 101. If you're out of the pocket, you've got to get rid of the football in this situation. You cannot take a sack in a 2-minute drill.
And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. Kenny Golladay making his way back onto the field with the rest of this offense. Seems like the measuring stick for a receiver for a great game is 100 yards. Well, he's well past that now.
And as we analyze how he's getting them, that's where it really becomes fun because, let's face it, they keep sending coverage at him, keep trying to put the pressure on, yet he finds ways downfield and finds openings. That's a really crafty receiver.
A gain of 4 on the play, and that'll make this a second down. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Throwing to Stafford. Open man is Golladay, complete. 50 catches for him now on the year. He's got a first down. One last throw here for Stafford. He's going to let it fly. And that will be incomplete as time has run out on this football game. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for the Colts, they get win number 10 on the year as they move to 10-1. And now they'll have a few extra days here before they face Kansas City next week. Meanwhile, for Detroit, their luck may have run out as they fall to 4-7 now on the year. And they'll try to get back on the beam next week as they'll head to Tampa to take on the Bucs. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.
Okay, 30,000 in the pocket, no change. Okay, I might pass the ball, but this is no game. Okay, all my girls, they love and hate me the same. Okay, so when I die, I ain't gon' be from old age. Somebody gon' want revenge, somebody might want it now. Right pocket got euros, left pocket got pound. Somebody gon' want revenge, somebody might want it now. Throw the ball with the right hand, catch with the left, touchdown. Step back, let me get some room. Congrats every time I'm through. Same packet, nobody knew, so I never get confused. Hotel get a bird's eye view, hotel get a waiting room. Read a magazine while you wait for me, baby, I'll be done so soon. Phone gotta be off, each store got locks, I got some trusted shoes. 10K on the countertop, don't look so shocked, it's nothing new. Death comes in threes, wins come in twos, cash comes in ones. Throw it up, celebrate some news. I do a good job, pull up and pop out and pull out. Head on and hood on, pedal to metal. When I put my foot on, I got to put on. I got a bad one, they wanna keep me, oh that's a good one. Pockets are dense, I think my bread is hard as a crouton. Receipts in my pocket don't come with a coupon. Okay, 30,000 in the pocket, no change. Okay, I might pass the ball, but this is no game. Okay, all my girls, they love and hate me the same. Okay, so when I die, I ain't gon' be from old age. Somebody gon' want revenge, somebody might want it now. Right pocket got euros, left pocket got pound. Somebody gon' want revenge, somebody might want it now. Throw the ball with the right hand, catch with the left, touchdown. Touchdown, 8th floor, come down, hotel, lobby. Receptionist, what now? 11 a.m., check out. Might give her one foul, just to tell her it's one now. How come? I need rest, no recess in my schedule. Mama used to serve vegetables, now half the meals got tentacles. Half the Emirates need a reservation, and half my money goes straight to taxes. But I don't care about it, that's what happens when you got dreams closer than a match. Plus all your boys got expensive habits. I know what they're thinking, they don't even gotta say it. They thinking they just made it. I know how to make everybody feel famous. I don't gotta work no day shift. I don't gotta split no payment. I don't gotta answer questions. And I don't need you to okay it. Okay, 30,000 in the pocket, no change. Okay, I might pass the ball, but this is no game. Okay, all my girls, they love and hate me the same. Okay, so when I die, I ain't gon' be from old age. Somebody gon' want revenge, somebody might want it now. Right pocket got euros, left pocket got pound. Somebody gon' want revenge, somebody might want it now. Throw the ball with the right hand, catch with the left, touchdown.
They can't take it to 10.
like that. It's a lot of money, why are you mad like that? Ooh, I'm in my new bag, my bad. You ain't get too bad, my bad. First of the month, I'ma run it back. Same day, why I'ma run it back. Friday, payday, run it back. Run it back, run it back, run it back. 48 yards, I run it back. I cop a car, I run it back. Go your then run it back. Run it back, run it back, run it back. Hello? That's the jag calling. Let me click over real quick to let my jag talk it. I eat it, ooh, Pac-Man. That's the way my neck talking. Right? I ain't never coming back. The way the stress. You don't make no clap back when you backpack, my bad. But I'm past that with a NASDAQ. That's cash. When the money fall, I'ma slap that. Clap when the money go. You don't slap. That's facts. If the money low, I'ma grab brown man. When it come back, I'ma give back my bad. When the check hit, the direct hit. I'm glad when the check missed the direct hit. I'm sad like who's that knocking at my window? My window. They say that it's the money. I'm like tenfold. Over and out. That's gon' make you up like a limbo. She said she not a. She an. Why you do that like that? It's a lot of money. Why are you mad like that? Ooh, I'm in my new bag, my bad. You ain't get too bad, my bad. First of the month, I'ma run it back. Same day, why I'ma run it back. Friday, payday, run it back. Run it back, run it back, run it back. 48 yards, I run it back. I cop a car, I run it back. Go your then run it back. Run it back, run it back, run it back.
The young, incredible, honestly unforgettable. You a joke like Chappelle Show. This so perennial. Do this for my millennials. I be murdering any flow. I just had to let you know. It's the young, incredible, honestly unforgettable. You a joke like Chappelle Show. This so perennial. Do this for my millennials. I be murdering any flow. Yeah. I just had to let you know. Yeah. Give me that work and I can sell it. I put it on the line like I ain't selfish, nah.